Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Chess here. Decided to show you this game from the Singfield Cup, one of the uh, best um, classic tournaments and most prestigious one, I guess, for now. Used to be like Linares, but now it's, I think, by all means, this tournament, St. Louis. So Magnus won a game, a perfect game against next challenger, Nepomniachtchi, who has had a tremendous success in this candidates tournament, and Magnus will not play him, and he defeated him. It some gives me some Gary Kasparov vibes, like he was winning Anand back in the day, and he was winning Gelfand, and then they played the match. So Magnus doesn't have a good score against Dean Liran, obviously, but against Ian, it's let's say humiliation. I'm not that good at English, so just not humiliation, obviously, but just he shows who's the boss. Yeah. Okay, so Magnus plays d4, knight f6, c4, and e6. So G6 is Grunfeld, the trademark opening by Ian. Not that great against elite players right now. So he goes for this classical setup played every second game, I think, against d4. d5. Kramnik move order, knight f6, e6, and d5 just on third move. Takes, knight c3, c6. I had this position many times with black. Not don't consider myself a big, positional player, but with black I had this many times. Bishop f4. On my level, people play bishop g5 all the time and play for this pin, but bishop f4 is a good move anyway. It allows some trades on d6, obviously, that's the problem. Bishop f5, e3, and knight to d7. No bishop d6. He wants to play bishop e7, not to trade dark square bishops. H3, bishop e7, and g4. This is definitely a surprise for me, at least. Yeah, it's again, if this is played by like 1500 player, he will get a lot of criticism by his coach, etc. Yeah, that you don't want to spoil the structure, but Magnus is definitely going for something different. Bishop to e4. So I'd play automatically bishop to g6, which is a good move, but again, this is his home prep. And bishop e2. So I'm claiming that Magnus plays for this light square bishop. When I play this bishop f5 variation, white always play bishop d3. They don't want to give me like an active bishop, and they have this like passive bishop on e2. In the meantime, Magnus shows that it's completely different, yeah, and you just can save your light square bishop and play for something else. And queen b3 again. Um, uh, Ian plays quickly, and Magnus already invested like 20 minutes. Not obvious move to me. You don't want to let your opponent, to trade to give get this double pawns, yeah. But when you're a genius, it's much easier to play. Bishop g6 doesn't want to give up to bishops just yet. Knight h4 and bishop b4. Engine doesn't really like this move. He says that a5 might be better. Yeah, the problem is that you don't really want to capture here. Yeah, and um, and king will move away, and I'm not sure that this bishop is very good there, but I know. Takes and f3. So if Ian wanted, he definitely saw this coming, but uh, I mean, black has a good position. It by all means, it's I mean, it's totally defensible, and it has you only like you can claim that you have counterplay. But in the meantime, these knights are very limited. Yeah, this pawn on b3 actually is good against these two knights. Yeah, if you go knight to b6, which is one of the classical moves to play, then I mean it's totally blocked by this b3 pawn. And he could throw at some point bishop c2. He didn't choose this, but I mean, you have to, wait for what white does. And Magnus is extremely good at it. Knight f8, king f2, moving from the pin. Of course, saving the bishop, bishop g3, played very quickly. King e7. So you can put your knight, king on e7, because it's not likely that the e file will be opened up really quickly, and you have to connect your rooks. h4. So this is where Magnus starts his. I mean, he already got, I think, pretty decent position. I think he was pretty happy with what he's got. Black's knights are, don't have anywhere to go to. There is no like clear way to trade them. c5 will be played later, obviously, but then you get this d5 pawn issue. And Magnus like starts not the offense, but kind of creating some play. Yeah, it's not a threat actually, but he can open up the file and kind of win the file, the h file, and then do something about it. It's uh, pressure, not that it's kind of but it's unpleasant pressure, yeah, and it's totally in Magnus's hands to play h5 at some point. a6 in g2, rook to d8, maybe preparing for c5. Bishop f2, reinforcing d4, so he can play d4 e4 at some point. Bishop d6 and bishop to d3. So nothing really going on. Evaluation is plus 0.3 for black. I think he has 30 minutes more, and again, nothing really going on, but Magnus just waits what black will do, because it's psychology. Knight to a4, bishop d6, going back and forth, and bishop a1. Now maybe throw in this bishop a5, jump with the knight, and so unfortunately Ian he was tired of this like passivity. Yeah, he thought that, well, he played this move, bishop e1. His rooks are not connected. His knight is on the side of the board. He has these weaknesses, so he might not be really prepared for opening up the game. That's what I would do. And in the meantime, actually, engine says that white has big advantage after this. Not big, but +1 almost. Yeah. Takes with the knight. He doesn't want to give two bishops. Takes, and bishop to d2. Just defending this e3 pawn, and he's in time to play rook to c1, activate his pieces. Rook e8, and this is very nice, b4. So he opens up found this idea how to open up position and create pressure against this queen's side of the board. b5, and a5, and basically he gives up a pawn because capturing here is yeah, very bad. After this bishop b4, his king gets trapped in the center, and he loses this pawn anyway. So Ian decided to give up a pawn. In e6, in f2, defending e3. And Magnus plays actually very quickly this last like 10 moves, just on increment, spends minimum amount of time, and he is winning. He's now plus 3. He just pushed his pawn on b5 and won a pawn, which was not obvious. Yeah, and his piece on a1 was not developed. Yeah, and it looked like everyone will play it like rook to d1, rook to e1. And his pieces, his rooks on this starting positions were perfect. Yeah, and this rooks doesn't do a lot because he doesn't have a single file. Rook d1, and Magnus is extremely strong with these maneuvers. Yeah, nothing you can do really. g5 and rook a4, defending this pawn from the a4 square. Very nice. So this rook is extremely active, and this actually black has problem with d5 pawn. Knight c5, rook g4, and king c7. The best move was to capture this bishop. I'm not sure I would, because you down a pawn and you have problems with another pawn, and this will go. He will play e4, trade couple of rooks, and down two pawns is just lost. So you don't want to do that, even though it's the best tension move. Rook e5, you need to defend the pawn at least. f6, looks like, yeah, rook d8 was not much better, probably because of this. F to d4, yeah, so he will win this pawn anyway. Okay, so f6, traded, took the pawn. And in this position, he played something miraculous, rook f4. Yeah. So black tries to get some activity, create something, and yet Magnus manages to get on top and take win tempo himself. b6, very nice move. He just useless pawn, yeah, because it doesn't go anywhere, but he gains very important tempo. He has to take, yeah, if he takes, then it's check, yeah, and yeah, and it's over. Yeah, he loses another pawn, and if you go back, you go here, then yeah, should be 7. So just b6 is brilliant finish by Magnus. I think it's one of his best games, very close to this Carlsen against Gelfand win in the same variation. Basically, this he beat Kramnik, and he was excellent, excellent. It doesn't play all the time this variation for some reason, but I wouldn't like to play against him with black this position. All right. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you, and see you next time.